Welcome to this episode on my driving robot Mydfir with line following sensor, active sonar and color recognition. Last time I tried to correct the double line following sensors, and I changed the code for it. And finally, I found out that the problem may not be in the line sensor but in the sonars. So a little demonstration of that. I hope that goes fine. First attempt fails. And another attempt goes fine. It makes perfect contact considering the blinking LED. And well, this is one of the things that is going on. Should not happen. But with the screen output saying there is something with the sonar, is the suspicion that there is something recognized by the sonar which is not there. Which raises the question, where is it? Well, the sonar is this one and this one. Following the cables, you end up here. So these are the distance sensors, and the question now is, of course, are these sensors really doing what they should? Well, I did test with the diagnose software, and that gave the result that they are actually working. But now when I look at the screen output, the distances are quite large, and the software says, okay, if the distance is smaller than 5 centimeters, which is something like this, then there should be a reaction. So it should drive straight away. So let's test something else, or test some more. And it should not be necessary to put it straight on the line, so let me put it like this. And do again. And it can't open the interface. It says interface present. Well, it should. Alright, it makes contact. And it drives once again backward. And it may be clear that this is not the way it should be. So let me put the robot in the other direction. Put it there. Go. Right. That's not intention. Let's put it there. Go again. And again it drives backwards. So it's time to look at output and code. So this is not going very fine. If we look here, then it says interface is present. Well, that's very nice, but it also says D1 motor 1 reaction response. Distance measured by Sonar 1 D1 is 107 centimeters. So let's look to the coder, and then we have here larger than 5, and it says D1 response. Oh, here is of course then smaller than 5 centimeters, the D1 response. And here it says D2 response, and that is the only thing that the Sonar does. And also that the distance is smaller than 5 centimeters, which is not correct, because here it says D1 is 91 and here it says D1 is 107. So that doesn't make sense. How can it be 107 when the Sonar is smaller than 5 and there's nothing in front of it? Looking back, let's see, here, while it was driving backwards, because it has only driven backwards so far, it's 139 centimeters. So it should not have given this response at all, which leads me to activating diagnosis and then open interface through the data link, distance sensor activated. Okay, now I don't mind about the line following sensors, which are, by the way, not quite correct, to say the least, because it is, as far as I can see, not over the line. But as said, I don't mind about that now. Now D1 and D2 is what I'm talking about right now. Let me position the robot differently. Once again, I don't care about line sensors. I care about D1 and D2. And then, well, this is D2. So it clearly responds. D1. And I think that is quite sufficient proof that it works. So I have to be careful now. I'm holding it in my hand. And now there's something weird going on, because now I am testing D1. Or is it D2? D2. Which is, by the way, not correct. The other one is not correct at all. Alright. So and now I have to conclude that D2 is actually more or less correct, but D1 isn't, because I'm moving my hand in front of D1 and it doesn't respond. Now D2, and that responds much better. So what I need to do is fixing the connections. And then test again. So with the knowledge that one of the sensors of the sonars is not working correctly, let's take it and view the connections, and then is this the location where the sensors are connected. And the best thing to do is to actually reconnect them all, and that proves a bit tough. So carefully taking them out and putting them back in, one by one. Maybe there's some rust in there, who knows. And that is going to work. So taking a small knife and lifting it off, trying to at least. Which proves a hard thing to do. At least one of them is out. The second is out too. So putting them back nicely. So now all four have been reseated actually. The others are still connected. So maybe, just maybe, it will work now. And let's see whatever happens. Alright, nicely on the line. The interface never stopped working. And now, with this, I actually see the numbers changing. The question is how. And I'm still not quite convinced. Alright, let me avoid all confusion, putting it like this. And now it says both 120, well, that may be so. There's an object and there's an object, both more or less the same distance, so that may be correct. So when I put my hand here, one of them should be very small, which is correct, that's D2. Now the other one, and that's small too. So now that seems nice. So yeah, let's run the software again. Close the interface. And run. What will happen? If anything. So far, not much. Not much at all. Alright, interrupt and go. Once again. Now I see this light flashing. It is measuring something of 120 centimeters, but as you've seen in the code, that makes no sense. So I'm still not sure what's going on. Maybe I should review the code and change it. So with this continuing strange behavior, looking at the code, while the question is this indeed correct? So while the distance is larger or equal to 5, do if the distance is smaller than 5. Alright, so what if the distance is smaller than 5 to begin with? It doesn't go in here anyway. Just if it is larger and or equal to 5, then it encounters an object smaller than 5, closer than 5 centimeters. It has to give a signal, red, 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 3 times red. And that lasts for 1 second. What happens then? I'm not quite sure, but probably I should put another for 0 after this, but that's detail. More important, it says when smaller than 5, this, and then with a new sensed distance, which is 125, which is 120 in this case. So why does it do that? Why does it do it anyway? It makes absolutely no sense. And it has always worked, and that's the mystery of it. It did work. Now here the same thing for blue, for second distance sensor, sonar. But why is this happening? Can I set D2 to 0? Probably, but does it make sense? No, because it reads everything new and new. D-motor 1, D-motor, D1 motor 1 reaction, but I should probably say, because this has nothing to do with the distance in per se, it is the motor that responds. Does it respond? Good question. Let me just, without altering the code, do something. And with an eye on the lamps, red eye, either red or blue. and it doesn't do a thing. So once again, oh, this is 8. I have unfortunately noticed that some of my voice was missing from the previous part. In the end, something wrong with the headset cable. I hope this is working. And I'm re-recording this part because all voice was lost. So what I have been doing is checking everything, running software, and this part fails. Again, trying again. Now something should happen, probably driving back. And nothing happens actually. It records data in here, but it says no interface present. So I want some data in there. Now a lamp response. It drives backwards and it says D1. Only D1. Driving back slowly because probably the battery is going down. Yeah, considering the speed, the battery is going down now, so I need to replace it. But here it says S is 16. What I'm going to do is, again, after replacing the battery, checking on the actual distances. But as said, first replacing, because I want speed and I want nice readings. Placing the robot back on the map, and I have placed 2 battery packs in front of each sonar. So I have to click distance mode, and now it senses the objects rather close. What I need to do now is putting them closer, which it senses. Then one further away, which it also senses. So that is correct. Then leaving this interface again. What is going wrong? Well, a realization. Here it drives only backwards, which it has done for some time. What I did not realize until now is this. Line following makes it drive forward. However, here I have put a while true. That may be so, but here is also a while, which is in column 4. And going here, this while is also in column 4, which means 2 separate whiles are dealt with differently. So I am commenting this one out, then saving, and here's another thing, my Ctrl S suddenly doesn't work. But what is the difference? Is there a difference? Now it should go backwards. 1, 2, 3 red lights, and it drives backwards. So what happens when I take away the objects, put the robot on the line and let it go? Well, it drives forwards, but not as I like. So let's test it further. Last part for this episode. You see the battery packs that I used, and the last position the robot is in after the last try, so I am going to reposition the robot. Remove the AccuPacks and start the algorithm again and see whatever happens. Okay, I didn't envision that, but let's just see whatever going to happen. Most likely it will notice the one of the tripod legs. And it will continue to run, and that is not what I like. So here it won't sense anything that is closer than 5 centimeters, so it actually should run. Should run. 1, 2, 3, which means I sense something and I go backwards. I don't like that at all. And in the code it says I have to go backwards, but that is the point. Well, when there's a line it should correct itself, and it should only, but why does it turn? It should only drive backwards when finding a code. And I have already adapted the software, so once again, why is it doing this? I have no explanation. Sadly, I have no explanation at all. So let me just put it like this, on the line, red, like there is no line, and then going backwards. And there's nothing within 5 centimeters. A line should be detected. Alright. And it really says 1 motor stop, 1 motor drive. But why? And the first thing it says on the screen is only the left motor drive. And where does it occur? And 1 slowly left. That occurs only when it is at the left side of the line. Only there. So only here. So what will happen when I put it here? No, I'm doing something wrong. Here, what happens? Okay, never mind. Right now, I do know that the sonars are working, I do know that the sensors are working, but apparently the algorithm is still somewhere corrupted. So I have no idea. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, or leave a comment, give thumbs up, follow me on Twitter, retweet and like, follow me on Instagram and like, leave a comment somewhere. Please donate some money to keep the videos coming to you. Very much appreciated. More PayPal address is mentioned at the start of this video. More information on my website, and this is going to be continued.